Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Unlocked, and it doesn't currently happen. And I was looking, you had a couple options online, like your Rockwood 590, and it's got adjustable tension on there. Shouldn't that be able to keep a door closed? I mean, pretty much.
Of course. I mean, what wind load is the contractor referring to? You know.
So it's a beach house, and they're saying if we have the back doors open and the wind blows, it'll blow the front doors open, which I find a hard swallow. It's a set of double doors. I mean, there have to be a lot of wind, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all agree there. It's not going to happen in an occasional,
right.
20 mile an hour wind. I mean,
right, it'll blow everything inside the house before it gets to the front door.
Well,
you know,
I mean, could it blow open? Sure. Is it going to
sure.
in standard weather? No, I don't think so.
Right.
I've never heard of such a thing in 30 years, is the bottom line.
Okay, well, you're with me. And now I can use this with the for top strike because it's a set of double doors, and we just want to have the vertical handles with some sort of a locking mechanism on it.
Sure. So you got a pair of doors, you want ladder poles, you want roller latches at the top of each door, and then you're going to put a deadbolt to secure the two together. Correct. I mean, that would technically work. I'm not a fan of you not rendering one door stationary so that if you pushed on it, it wouldn't move open. I think it would. I think if I walk up to your doors, I'd be able to push them open to a certain extent.
Oh, it'll have a lock on the one door.
You'll have like a bolt or?
It'll have the locking mechanism that'll go up into the top and the bottom, into the jamb and into the top.
Yeah, flush bolt. So why would you put a roller latch on the inactive door then?
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I'm just asking. I mean, you might say, well, I'm going to be in and out, and I just want to push the doors open and closed. But I think if like doors to your deck, I think at night, when party was over, you might bolt that door. But yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to have that. Sure. Now you could.
Okay.
Yeah, you could also take that concept and turn those bolts into automatic bolts so that when you close the inactive door, put that in the closed position, and then you brought the active door closed. The act of doing that will push the triggers in the inactive door and then throw the bolts up and down. So that's nice because you won't have to flip the toggle on the edge of the door. Yeah. But that's all.
Okay, so if I have that, you said they're called inactive flush bolts, the flush bolts. If I have them on there, and I manually open them and then open that door, then when I close that and I close the other door, that will automatically go ahead and lock those.
Exactly, they're called automatic flush bolts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now
it's neither here nor there, but it exists, so I thought I'd mention it.
No. I mean, it makes it easier, So this is a coastal home, and but I noticed that these are all clear coated anyway, so I shouldn't have any issues, right?
Well, I live a mile from the ocean. Everything with time will fatigue and fail. Everything.
Yeah.
So, but that 590 is going to be a brass base material on the exposed portion, so the plating will eventually fatigue, but. I mean, are we measuring this in years or decades?
Yeah, no, that's fine. And then, do you like that 590 as a good setup?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
That's money in the bank.
Okay, and then what striker plate should I? Because I'm looking at the one here that says the 590 with cast striker and satin, and that's good because we're doing satin handles. That's the top one that's shown on the website.
Well,
it's a 590 619.
Yeah, so
I want to order it properly.
Well, the 590 means it's the roller latch, and then that particular strike. If you go from 590 to 591 to 592, etc., you change the strike. But the roller latch that will go in the door is the same unit.
Okay.
The 590 strike would be just dandy. You might also look at the 590 2. That's got a different shaped strike, but it would be one or the other. Pick one. You don't need, there's no,
Okay.
if it was me, I'd probably go with the 590 because it'll be a little easier prep for whoever has to get up there and chisel it.
Yeah, because these guys are just, it's been very difficult. And then what about, so we have a home automation system, and they said that they could do an electric strike up on top. Okay, so that when somebody comes or whatever, we could just buzz them in. So can I do the electric strike and the roller so that I could turn that off for a period of time and come in and out, or does the electric strike latch every time? And then 2, if there's a power failure, am I locked in?
Well, so let's start at the beginning. So someone's talking about an electric strike. What is that electric strike going to lock?
The active door.
But what in the active door will stick into the electric strike?
Oh, they were talking about a strike coming from up above, or
in the header.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So an electric strike is something that it could be in the header, it could be in the door, it would normally be in a strike jam, and you'd have a lock set that the latch bolt from that lock would go into the keeper, and that's how that door would be held closed.
Mm-hmm.
I think the term electric strike is not the right term for what is being proposed. If you want to put something up into the header, you might use an electric deadbolt or an electromagnetic lock.
Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, an electric deadbolt would be pretty cool. You could mortise those up, and I've done that in the past. Basically, it's basically nothing other than a bolt that projects down and secures the door. Those are available in 2 configurations: fail safe or fail secure. Forget the fancy terms. It means when there's no power, it's either locked, or it means when there's no power, it's either unlocked. You have to figure out which of those 2 conditions you would want. But then with an electric something, you need other stuff. How are you going to get in, and how are you going to get out?
Right.
So
then maybe you can help simplify this for me. Basically, we just want the vertical door pulls on this. Okay, and I like the roller because we already have that on another home. Okay, and then what about some sort of So the home automation system is set up so that we could let somebody in from being out of town and just let them in. So a Wi-Fi deadbolt. I mean, is there,
It's nothing that I really get into. I mean, that stuff is out there. It's available to the residential market. Schlage has one. That's just stuff that I.
Right.
You probably buy that at the local home.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Yeah, and we've got that in our garage with I forget August. But I don't want that look on the front of the house. It doesn't fit. This is kind of a modern look. So what do you typically do? Because we have the home automation, and they've got a keypad and a camera, and they said, well, we can, with the keypad, we can then go ahead and send a signal over and lock or unlock that door. But you're saying it's fail safe or fail secure. Power fail safe.
Well, it's only going to work one of the 2 ways. You either need to power it continuously to lock it, and then in a power outage, the door would be unlocked, or you only power it when you want to unlock. That means in the absence of power, that door is locked. That means you're not getting out that way.
Okay, and I couldn't do a manual release from the inside on it.
They do make electric deadbolts that you could have a key cylinder on the inside and outside for that matter to retract that in the absence of power, but you'd have to then move that into your door.
But I think that also becomes a hassle for getting in and out of the house, just generally speaking. Every time you close the door, it's going to lock behind you on that.
Well, then what you do is go with fail safe so that you are always powering it to lock it.
I see.
The downside of that is coastal area, power outage probably going to
Oh yeah.
happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need to know if the power goes out, your door is unlocked.
Okay. So it really looks like a simple
But
deadbolt is the best really solution for me.
if you want remote access to it, that sure it does. I mean, your access control system will also control the electric deadbolt. The only downside, of course, is that.
No, I don't like the secure issue of it. To me, it bothers me for one way or the other. I think I'd rather just go ahead and electrify my garage door remotely and then be able to open it up and let people in through the garage door.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what about the metal handles? What do you recommend on them as far as a nice look?
Oh, there's so many choices and designs. Rockwood is the name that you're already looking at their roller latch. They have architectural. They got 100 pages of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like the Rockwood brand?
Absolutely. I like all of them. I like Rockwood at least as much as everyone else.
Okay. If you had your preference of quality and whatnot?
If I was going to put it on my own house, I would very much use Rockwood.
Okay. All right. That's comforting. Okay. So it'd probably be best for me just to get that all, and then just give it to them and tell them to put it in. And then just go. And what about a deadbolt? What deadbolt? Do you like the Rockwood deadbolt too?
Rockwood doesn't make any mechanical hardware like that. When it comes to, are you going to do so you want just a manual piece of hardware? I don't. Yeah. I would not. I would use a deadbolt by Kaba, or Baldwin. And here's why: Baldwin or Kaba, because
I have Baldwin already. I like it. I think it's quality.
Yeah. So it is. It's extreme. It's very good quality. But why I like Baldwin and then the Kaba deadbolt is because they don't require that clunky 2 1/8 inch hole that Baldwin will go into 1.5 inches. The Kaba will go into 1 7/8 inches. What's nice about the Kaba is they have a 2-inch back set if your stiles are narrow. But I'd go with that Baldwin, whatever the part number is, 1.5 inch diameter. It's just, it's the good stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. That's what I have. That's what I already have. Is all Baldwin. I love the quality feel of it. And you have that on yours? Oh, yeah. The lock sets and deadbolts. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have that Baldwin deadbolt. I don't recall that part number for that petite one, but it's definitely in there. It takes that 1.5 inch hole. It's when I sell it, it's the one that I sell. 8231 maybe. Yeah, that's just a trip into the Baldwin catalog to find that deadbolt.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell them. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because if you know the right one, then I'd rather just get the one that you recommend. And then what I'll do is I could just order all that and drop ship it to the job site.
Sure.
Okay. Good. I just have to find out how many we're going to need of each of these things, because we're doing the side doors and whatnot too. So, and what was the other one you said? Corba or
Kaba Ilko. They make a deadbolt with a nice small footprint on it. The Baldwin stuff could be like an 8041 that takes 1 5/8 inch prep. And let's see, that's a clean contemporary design. Let's see. Yeah, 8041 would be a Spartan clean sort of look. Yeah, that's nice. It's only got a 2-inch outside diameter once it's installed.
Do they make pull handles too? The Baldwin, like the brushed nickel?
They do make pulls, but they're not ladder pulls. They're stuff that you'd see on doors, to bathrooms and restaurants.
Yeah, small stuff. Okay. And then if you had your choice of ladder pulls?
Rockwood.
Okay. All right. That's what I'll look up. And then you sell all that, right?
I sell everything that we've spoken about with the exception of those Wi-Fi deadbolts.
That's fair. Okay. And what was your name?
My name is Richard.
Richard. Okay.
If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video.
But I was talking about the rollers.
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking about the Rockwood. Also, I was looking at their catalog to kind of simplify some of these things. The RM 3101 for the ladder pulls is that a good choice?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't choose on that until you've looked at the entire catalog. I wouldn't make a final decision. I mean, if you want to look at a picture book, so are you looking at that right now on the website?
Yeah, I have a website up right now, and I was looking at that. You know, they had so many, and you know, I thought, well, that's not a bad one. You know, unless you have other options that you like.
I do. Are you looking at the RM 3101 in my website right now?
No. What is your website?
absupply.net.
absupply.net. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So in that search box, type in RM 3101 and let me know when the next page loads.
Uh-huh.
All right. On the right side, click Buy Now of any of those. Let me know when the next page loads.
On the right side, Buy Now. Okay. Uh-huh. Yes.
In that same area on the next page, it says Add to Cart. Below that and to the left of the map of the United States, click More from Rockwood.
Uh-huh.
That page is going to take 20 seconds to load, so let's just wait it out.
And then also, so if I'm doing Rockwood, right? Do I do Rockwood hinges and that automatic the one that locks automatically when I close that dead door? Also, probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you would do their auto flush bolts. Yeah, and I'll show you where to find that as well.
Okay.
So that page ought to have loaded.
It just did. Uh-huh.
Okay. There are two links I want you to draw your attention to. The first one is about 5 inches below that video. It's called Rockwood 2020 Full Line Catalog.
I see that.
So don't open it, but that's the one that you'll find the flush bolts in. To the left of that, about 6 inches and up 1 inch, it'll say Rockwood 2018 Architectural Door Pulls. That's the book that you're going to fire up to look at all other ladder pulls. And it's worth looking at before you make a final decision.
Okay. No, I really appreciate that. I see they even have one that has the deadbolt in the handle.
Oh, locking poles. They could do those as well. That's about a 3 Bayer aspirin cost, though. Those are not cheap.
Oh, he wouldn't do that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, all right. The auto flush bolt, and then hinges. What do you think about hinges?
Are you doing hinges or are you doing pivots?
I think they're hinges on the door. You know what? I've got to ask the builder.
Okay. I mean, you know, if you've not done these doors yet, then, you know, I would look at maybe either, well, I mean, pivots might be over the top, but you might consider a concealed hinge like a SOSS, SOSS, completely hidden. I mean, you won't see the hinges when the doors are closed.
Okay. And then finally, a threshold. They're recommending a bronze threshold.
Sure, because they're not spending their own money. I like the idea, but bronze thresholds are 150, 200, 250 a foot. I love the idea. Why you would want that is because it'll last a century. the caliber of that base material, like the front doors of City Hall in Chicago. You know, that famous last scene in the Blues Brothers. When you go in any of those double bronze doors, it's all bronze thresholds. They've been there forever. The logic with that is it's not only substantially durable material, which may not be appropriate to your application, but like where I am in here in Naples, if you're building a $7 million house, you're not putting in aluminum thresholds, or a $4 million house. So that would be the logic that might guide you. If it's common material,
it's a $6 million house.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, it would be appropriate that the caliber of the base material fits the cost. But you know, aluminum would be considered standard, but architectural bronze is substantially more durable.
The reason that they said not for aluminum was that it dents.
That's what I'm coming. That's where I'm coming with architectural bronze just being so durable. I mean, obviously you don't want to 300. You don't want to roll your grand piano over it, for goodness sakes. But very durable.
And the door is going to be a brownish anyway. So I guess.
Well, a little talk about the threshold. It can be purchased in raw bronze. Some people call it brass. That's okay. It would be properly termed mill finish. It's unfinished. On that mill, you can do a satin, where it's a beautiful brushed satin brass. You can do polished brass. You can do oil rub bronze. But if you want it to patina with age, with exposure to the elements, then you would order it mill, and it will start to turn. It's like copper gutters in the sense that it don't stay that nice shiny color after day one.
Right, but I could get it in bronze, but with a satin finish.
A satin brass finish, yes.
A satin. So
you
what do you mean?
You won't get it in a chrome finish.
No. To match the handles.
What color is your handle?
Like a what do you call it? Like a satin stainless kind of thing, you know.
You won't get that threshold. You won't get bronze thresholds in that matching color.
I'd just rather get it milled then, and then let it patina. It's okay.
Okay, there you go. Yes, or
because it'll match the door, you know.
It will. In that regard, it will. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to look at the soft hinge, the auto flush bolt. What do I have? Locking pole. Oh no, I don't want that. You said it's difficult. Yeah.
They're costly. I mean, they're cool, but for residential, it's not appropriate. I mean, you see those in commercial applications.
Yeah. Okay. And do I look for anything specific when I want it on the inside and outside?
Your poles?
Is that just the ladder pole? That's just the mount style, I guess.
Well, yes, that, but also when you're ordering those, we would order them as one set, which translates into two poles, and then we define the way it's going to be mounted. It doesn't affect your review of what the decision you like in terms of style.
Okay. And on an 8-foot door, what would be an appropriate length?
Purely subjective. My opinion is that as the door height grows, the height of your hardware should grow with it symmetrically. 16, 18, 24, 30, 36. I've done it all. I've done on a 96-inch door, I've done 90-inch. I've done 12-inch, 18-inch. My opinion, I'd probably be somewhere in the 24-inch range, but I'm not a designer.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, and then turnaround time on all these things. What are we looking?
Everything we've talked about is about 2 weeks, unless your ladder pole is going to be leather wrapped. That takes an additional week. And when you get into that catalog, you will see leather wrapped poles. Okay.
Well, Richard, you've been real helpful, and I appreciate your time, and I'll be back in touch. Actually, I found you on the internet. I found you on YouTube, and you know what you're talking about. So I appreciate people who know their products.
There are some things I know about. There are many things I don't, but I do study every day.
But I can't sell what I don't know. You know, I can't sell what I don't believe in and don't know, and don't like to buy from people who don't either. So I appreciate it.
I look forward to earning that.
Huh?
I look forward to earning that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no problem. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Okay.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.